Hey Tristan, when's the last time we were on a webinar together?
It's been a while. It's crazy. We don't do webinars together as much. Isn't that crazy, Steve?
I know I figured we should do this because
We love Agent Legend.
we're gonna throw it back to Agent Legend. Remember Agent Legend? Remember your grandpa's Agent Legend? Well, this is not that Agent Legend anymore. This this is a new and improved Agent Legend. So I figured we should both be on here. We got Steve Gerten. What would you say your title is over there? Head boss?
Head boss, now co-owner in the business. Yeah, so we were users of Agent Legend back during the heyday, right? Had a team, had a team in I'm in Minneapolis, and so we were using the product, knew the owners, and my trajectory, my career led to more on assisting business owners in their exits and their strategies around packaging the business up and selling or a liquidity event. And that's how we came full circle and had the opportunity to um, look at Agent Legend. Over the past 12 months, we've been hard at work turning the business around. And like you mentioned, not your grandpa's Agent Legend anymore, and improving the product, listening to our customers, and just investing in the business, knowing where the industry is heading. So, yeah, really excited to finally put pedal to the metal on getting back to the market, and knowing that we're not just text messaging anymore. Really focused on the database side of things, and that's where the value is for everybody that's probably tuning in your community and the customers that we're serving. So excited to dig into this with you guys today.
Well, let's do it, man. You pivoted more into AI. So you've got these AI agents, these AI assistants that are going to be taking care of our database and taking care of communication, right? They're enriching these contacts that we have in whatever database we've got. But before we go there, I have a question because we watched it all happen just a couple of days ago with Zillow being the first real estate app coming out on ChatGPT. I've got a couple of questions because here's how I envision the very near future. And then both of you tell me what you think, okay? I see it like this. I see it where ChatGPT is the fifth most visited website in the world, right? They took over X's spot. X is now number 6. Reddit is number 7. Um, with that, Zillow realized, wait a second, this is the new app store, right? iPhone, phone, social became the most popular thing in the world because it had an outlet, the App Store. And now we're looking at ChatGPT saying, "Hey, look, websites, we have something for you. You can fully integrate with us where because we have so many users, we can have the consumer, anyone go through and use your site even easier." That means I'll be able to get a real estate agent directly through ChatGPT that's connected to Zillow much easier. So I'm thinking Redfin jumps in, Realtor.com jumps in. But here's the other piece to this: Lofty jumps in. Obviously, Follow Up Boss jumps in. It changes the dynamic of the CRMs because now I can just say, hey, well, Follow Up Boss, but hey, Follow Up Boss, do me a favor. Can you mass text, if you could mass text on Follow Up Boss, can you mass uh, the last 5 leads that came through, right? Or because they're connected now to your product, Agent Legend, hey, can you do me a favor and enrich those last 5 leads that came through and reach out to them and set them up on a smart plan? Like the dynamic of the full app integration through ChatGPT changes how we function with technology. How do you see this? How do you see this evolving, man?
You want me to start first?
Nick or Steve, who's first? Go. You
You
guys
go
tell me
ahead.
question.
I'll flip it. I mean, the thing, and we could even bring in Compass and anywhere in that acquisition too. It's like data is the new currency. So like the demand for attention and traffic is paramount. Now you're getting consumers that um, if you have an IDX website, if you have a branded website, it makes those vehicles just tougher to drive traffic towards. And in most cases, prospecting begins with like who's on my digital storefront And I think those platforms in and of themselves, so we can name the vendors that create them or whatever it looks like, is just the way that consumers are searching for properties now is just the whole dynamic is changing. Go to ChatGPT. Hey, I want to find the top neighborhoods that have in the best school districts for under $1 million. To do that on other platforms and like most sites, really difficult. I don't know if you guys remember like List Assist. If you remember that tech platform at all, they were acquired by Anywhere or not Anywhere.
I do remember List Assist.
Inside Real Estate, right? And so they own Inside Real Estate purchased that business, and that was because they made it easier for consumers to search for properties. And I think that's like the big thing here is like how do you if you run a real estate business and a brokerage, how do you make it just easier and make your destination just easier? And that's the challenge. Like Zillow has taken that traffic, they had done it
Yeah.
before, they own that consumer search. But the key is okay if they're not showing activity in your database, how do you know who to reach out to, right? That's going to be
Well,
the main thing,
dude,
and
Well,
that's
hold on.
go
Let
ahead.
me just
go
let
ahead.
me just to what Tristan was saying. Tristan, you said something recently about the SEO. SEO isn't dead, but the new SEO is like AIEO,
Yeah,
right?
AEO. Yeah, you're
AEO.
FAQ. The
Yeah,
FAQs are performing so well on snippets, right?
right.
This
Like I feel like ChatGPT. I don't even really use Google anymore. I go to ChatGPT to ask it a question because it just directly it answers my question. It doesn't send me all these different sites I need to visit. It does if I want to because it'll cite the source. But I feel like it's going to get super hyper local eventually. Like Zillow is just the first step. And so let's take my website, for example. I'm here in like Metro Detroit. If someone's like, find me the best houses for sale in Clarkston, Michigan under 400,000, my site could potentially come up.
Mm, yeah,
And I think like the more you position yourself in that way, then ChatGPT, like Google, will start to, you know, place you in certain areas that you need to be in when people are looking for things.
yeah. Yeah, it's and Trisha, I think you posted something, and maybe Nick too, in Lab Coats not too long ago. Is like the by the time most agents are engaging with that prospect for the first time, these consumers now are much more educated. They know they have like so the value prop is no longer in those prospecting efforts. Like uh just checking in, how can I help you, like how can I help you, those types of that prospecting where it's like you're the only one showing up. Now it is like relevancy, personalization,
yeah.
these platforms that have already done it, because now you have to bring the human element of that emotional side to the transaction. And in most cases, like in the world that we live in, right, in the database, we don't know who these people are. And now the core of what we're building is more in line with like use the power of big data and insights, pump that into your system so that every outreach that you have, back to what our core product always is and always was, is like communications. Well, now it's the relevancy of the communication. And that's what you're going to see. It's already, it had shifted there. The biggest brands in the world have been doing this for years. And now it's at the local level for real estate professionals to stand out because you're fighting for recommendations from GPT, but you're also there's 5 other people that are going to be trying to vie for that person's attention at the same time.
That's true.
I just want to touch on something that Tom said because I was in the chat because I was typing back to him, but I feel like it's a good question. Tom is saying that he built an avatar in ChatGPT. So, I'm assuming, he's saying, does it get confused if you ask it other questions? So I'm assuming that Tom's using it for one thing in real estate and real estate only. I feel like think of ChatGPT as your friend, right? Like let's use me and Tristan, for example. I don't just talk to Tristan about real estate. He knows about my kids. He knows about my life. He knows about my family. He knows where I live. He knows my interests. He knows what I do for fun. He knows my hobbies. He knows what kind of books I read. That's what ChatGPT should know about you, because when you then ask it for suggestions, it takes all of that information and shows you what it thinks you would like most. It starts to know you like a family member or a friend. So Tom, you need to branch out, buddy. Branch out.
Hey, I have something to add. That's good. I have something to add here. This is why I love doing these webinars, by the way, especially with you guys, because you get me thinking in a different direction. I hadn't thought about so everyone's talking about Anywhere and Compass is three-phase marketing plan, right? It's a big thing. Three-phase marketing plan. We have properties off market, technically only inside of the Compass world, right? Maybe in their website, maybe behind closed doors, something along those lines. But with something like them purchasing Anywhere, is this going to go into those 300,000 plus agents' world as well? Now, if it does, and they integrate with ChatGPT, then I'm not as worried because if I have the Compass app and I have the Zillow app and I'm the consumer and I say, "Hey, pull up the listings everywhere," it's just meshing it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's giving me exactly what I want, just like it was before when everything was on Zillow. So, you guys just made me think a little bit more. I was like, "Wait a second, maybe I'm overthinking it." But anyway, dude, with that, you're right. It's the enrichment of the data allows us to show up better for our clients because we know how to show up. And how are you doing that with the AI assistants you're building?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk AI, it's the application of AI. So, what we're really focused on is now when I say big data, right? That is the core. That's the information that we've assembled. So, backtracking to what we acquired with Agent Legend, we acquired conversational history, right? Tristan and Nick, right? The 10 years worth of campaign history, conversations of the top real estate professionals across the country. That's one foundational element to this big data set. And the next is the consumer data. So that consumer data, don't get it mixed up with. So there's really three elements to this. The consumer data is what's happening at the household level. There's been companies, Revaluate's a good one, right? We used Revaluate, where third party data, life event data, the 5 Ds, death, diamonds, divorce, diapers, diplomas. Uh, that's five of the over 1,600 data points that we've collected at the household level. Credit card behavior, cookie behavior. When they're searching on other sites, we can track that activity. So if they're not on, back to what we started with, is like most consumers, you're fighting to get them to your digital storefront. That's more difficult than ever before, given you're up against Compass and Zillow. Like that's a challenge, right? And so if they're not on your site or not clicking on your emails, how do you know who's ready or not? So that's the key to that data set. You overlay that with the conversational history that gives, okay, what should we say to these people? That's outstanding. So you build really great campaigns. You know who you're talking to. And then the third critical element and why we connect directly to the databases that we're working with. You mentioned Follow Up Boss, Lofty, Bold Trail, Brivity, name the top 10. We connect into those because our customers use those, the agents, the teamerages, the brokerages, and that's where the collection of those names, the phones, the emails, the date received of that lead, the lead source, all of the what we refer to as first party data. And that information, years to date, have been antiquated. Those have all been siloed in their own unique worlds. We've just combined them all together to create 24/7 database management. And ultimately, what's on our roadmap will be the conversational AI that we've all been using for years. Those who have adopted it, it's been, it's a polarizing vehicle, right? Some work, some don't, and so that's where this critical component of our conversational history comes into play because we're not starting from scratch. We're not giving it scripts. We're just loading in the lab coat agents long-term nurture campaign that's been in our system and it's produced awesome results for years, in terms of getting those conversations. So you feed it context, and now you have the full gamut. Not only can I reach the right people, right time, and now you're deploying the right message, that's relevant and personalized to the end consumer, because that's what this is all about. That's what everything is all about, the end consumer, and making sure that we're showing up so that they feel great about who they're partnered with. And most people forget about that, and they just have a database that's collecting dust. But you're investing time and money to build it. We're just laser focused on helping you harvest it, uh, so that you can maximize profits today, and then in the future we all exit. So who do you hand that database over to, and how do you get away from just like a 25% referral fee on your contacts? It's like, no, pay me for this, and that's what Compass is, right? They bought that. They bought all of that, those databases.
So
is a piece of that equation.
You're telling me that, and everyone here, that you're going to make my database worth more because you're telling me who to contact at what time and in essence where they're at in their life so I could do a better job helping them. And dude, I don't know that I would. So let's say me, I've got a massive database and I know I'm not optimizing it, so I can't wait to fully get involved. Um, I'm not optimizing it, but let's say I step out of real estate, whenever I do, but I leave Agent Legend in place, right? Now all of a sudden I know exactly because now I not only are you helping me with my database, but you've got this little AI. I call it little because I can't see it. This little AI that's running through and contacting these people that it's saying, "Oh, wait, I think this one's good. Let me contact them. Oh, this one's good too. Let me contact them." And if I leave this in place, I can still quarterback them to whatever agent I want if I'm retired and still get my referral fee, probably 30% or
Well,
more
that's the
because
thing I was going to say.
yeah,
You could probably charge more than that 25 considering, because how valuable the leads are, how valuable the contacts are, where to start fishing, really. You know what I mean?
you've got an AI assistant that's nurturing them, qualifying them, and raising their hand and saying, "This is the one, just send it over." You're right, Nick. You send it over, you're all of a sudden you have your own Zillow Flex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's not just, retirement or that. It's when you're getting recruited by the next brokerage, right? When they're knocking on your door, what's the value? Is obviously they know your transactional history, but when you can show the how you operate with higher margins than anybody else, like that stuff is critical so that you're not just the database is yes more valuable, but the business overall is more valuable. So whether you're a solo producer, a growing and emerging team, or a market leader, from our standpoint, it's in the database because now you can use that database to tell a more compelling story to recruits. So if you're adding more agents into your team, and also to other brokerages or whoever knocks on that door, to want to buy that book of business. And I see it. I mean, you're seeing it in every day. I get an announcement in my email that so and so was just acquired. So that consolidation is continuing to happen, and that's why we're really intentional about it's not a flat shiny object. This is boring stuff at the end of the day, but when you can show that it limits the amount of overhead that you need to convert these opportunities, and you can mine the gold that's already in the old of the database,
Yeah.
then and that's it.
Can
And
we tell people what data points? I mean, I know that you guys, there's like thousands of data points, but what are the main data points within Agent Legend that tell what is the agent? What can the agent find out
yeah,
about these?
great question. So what our techies, our developers, right? They are building hyper localized propensity models, right? For those of you who have used predictive analytics, Lofty, right? They have their lead scoring. Our lead scoring has a slightly different methodology. We're basically saying if you are in Minneapolis, St. Paul, where I'm located, we're looking at who recently bought or sold real estate. This is applicable for our mortgage professionals that use our platform. We've picked up home services as well along the way. Like you think about the entire uh, consumer life cycle, this is applicable for all of those. We're looking at conversion data. What did people do right before they bought or sold? And then we plug that information into your database and we combine it with your first party data. So what you have as an agent oftentimes, and this was the problem in our organization, was like we spent a lot of money chasing activity, and a lot of tools promote activity. A lot of CRMs promote activity, but
Right.
activity doesn't always lead to results. We're told to dial for dollars um, all the time. And so we believe there's a slightly smarter way of doing that is combine that activity with intent. And that's, hey, what are these people doing? And you plug that in, direct your outreach there. And our campaigns, our results, we measure on response rates like 4 to 10 times higher when you're going that path versus the traditional route of like more of the spray and pray, Let's hire more ISAs in that department. As my database grows, my team has to bloat. That was a problem in our organization. We could never increase our margins there. And so that's how we're thinking through it. And now you add, when you're recruiting, you find the right recruits that align with your database because you know who's in the database. And what I mean by that is like, we can show you who of you got in Tristan's database. We got 100,000 people. 25% of them are first time home buyers. 25% are luxury move up buyers. That helps inform my recruiting team to go and find the right agents to make sure that we nurture those people. You can automate, you can communicate with those people if you want, but ultimately there still has to be an agent on your team to serve that
Mhm.
customer the right way. And so that's where you go back to the data. Let that data drive the decision across sales, marketing, and operations. And that's how you win. And that's how you scale profitably over time.
This is the type of stuff that when agents kind of, brush off AI, we see a lot of agents in lab code agents kind of brushing it off.
Mhm.
This is the kind of stuff that is going to determine who's successful, who's not successful.
Yeah. This is
You know
what
what I
we're
mean?
waiting for though, Steve. So thanks for taking the initiative to actually build it out.
Yeah, because I have an ISA and they're going down the list, but I don't want them to just go down the list. I want them to go down the right list, not
Yeah,
just the main list.
Good
you got
point,
it.
man.
Yeah. I mean,
Good point.
this is applicable for ISA. We work with call centers. We work with ISA teams, right? And they're using this. Their data has kind of been, I'm glad people are championing this and they understand the importance of it. Data wins at the end of the day. Like I mentioned, like the biggest companies in the world, they use this information to power their organizations, and that's what's now readily available. And you can actually see it showing up in your bottom line when you measure it.
All right, a couple of things here, and then I've got an idea, which I think I ran by you, Steve. But first, some questions here.
Yeah.
Um, Tom didn't know about Agent Legend. Tom, thanks for jumping in. Kevin Scott, how much is Agent Legend? Debbie, did you already cover the price point? I'm sorry, I'm just catching this. And then Debbie's also asking, will this connect with all CRMs or what CRMs will it connect? So pricing and CRM integration.
Uh, Pricing. So it's all usage based. Depends on the size of your database. And it depends if you want to use the communications arm. We have a number of clients that we play nicely, right? With if you have another automated communications platform already activated, you can use just our data and insights. What we do, and thank you for sharing that QR code, scan it. That's going to give you a complementary database analysis. We get everyone a complementary database analysis, and you'll get to see the power of the information. And then our team will help you understand how you can feed it back into your database. And so back to the database question, the
Yeah.
top 10 CRMs that are real estate specific. So I can rattle through them, but I think we all know, broadly who they are. But for your community, Follow Up Boss, Lofty, Bold Trail, Brivity, um, Wise Agent. I can keep going down the list, but we've already built out the pipeline, right? And so, that's also what we've been building is making sure that this great data set, the information, we can pump it back in real time because we know a lot of brokerages and teams will switch CRMs. And that's another huge value prop is the fact that like this is your data, it's your asset. That's what we try to promote as much as we can because you're working your butt off to generate new contacts, you're buying leads, and at the end of the day, you know that the platforms that you're using, they use that information to kind of inform their product roadmap and that. We want to make sure that you get the keys as well to inform how you can convert leads predictably,
Yeah.
scalably, and transferably. So that's the core of it. And then yeah, that's effectively it.
Who to go to, man? Who to actually contact? So we're going down the right path, like Nick was saying too.
There's a great question in the chat by Tom. He's saying that he has an old database that goes back to 2010. A lot of them were rental inquiries. Would the product help determine if any of those could now be potential buyers?
Hold on. We got Calendly link in the page isn't found. If you want to put in the right one, Steve at the
Post up
bottom.
the yeah. Let me see if it works because sometimes people have trouble scanning a QR code.
Yeah, I'm going to scan it right now too while you answer that question.
You could just go to our website too if
You just fill
maybe
out
that
this form.
yeah.
Fill out the form,
Oh
and
yeah,
there's no Calendly link attached to it. You just put your first
yeah,
first
okay.
name, last name, and phone number and submit it.
Let me
QR's
fill.
working, Debbie. QR's working. I just scanned it. Just try it again. Leave it up for till the end of the webinar, Jan.
What was your question though,
He
Tristan?
wants to know if
An old database.
yeah, he has an old database that were mostly renters. He wants to know if the
Oh, that's
data
a
will
good
help
one.
determine if they're buyers. I mean, I feel like one of the data points tells you what their net worth is or what their income is. So that could
Yeah.
help you have a better conversation. Oh,
Once
that's interesting.
I fill it out, the Calendly link isn't found. Got it.
I'll
Oh,
make
but
sure we get that.
maybe the
But you
inquiry
still get
goes.
the info, right, Steve? So that you
Yeah.
can reach out to them. There we go.
Our webpage. I posted the link as well. I'll contact our team. But back to that example of rental, prop management. That's a big use case for. We have a number of clients across the country that they use property management as a lead source, right? So we have a portfolio of properties that we manage. Who do we know that's actively looking to sell those properties? That's one use case. And then of the tenants that are in those properties, we can accurately predict who's going to renew, who's not going to renew, at risk of renewing, and then who's at a point where they're ready to buy their first home. And now you're insulating those opportunities. That's a one that we see all too often, and that's a big use case for sure. Yep.
All right. Now I have my idea, which I think
Wait,
I ran by you.
let's
Okay.
see it.
So we opened up Y Realty and we're going national. We just did California. Now we're doing Illinois. Here's what I'm thinking though. After I've been playing around with your product. If I've got a team or a brokerage and I'm bringing in a new agent, chances are extremely high that this new agent's database for whatever CRM they haven't done a good job. They just haven't. Most haven't because you and I talked to them. If every single agent that comes onto the brokerage or the team, we run them through Agent Legend, and now all of a sudden if they've got 500 people in their database, let's say 10% of those, which is a lot, right? 50 are people that are actively looking right now that the AI has identified, hey, these people should be contacted based on all of the data that we have. Now all of a sudden, dude, they have 50 people they can reach out to and they know why. It enhances my brokerage, it enhances my team, it enhances the value I'm giving, and the agent gets busy. Dude, I love that. Every brokerage and team should have that layer so that we get our agents busy because a lot of them are struggling right now.
Yeah, with part of the reason why that database analysis, why we do it for free right now, is like Q4. We're planning. So you clean up the database. That's a feature that our database manager will do. She can go and find accurate phone, email, and address information. That way, you have a clean foundation. That's just enrichment. That's pretty simple to do. And then you mentioned is like recruiting is one, but also with the agent roster I currently have is to say, hey, look at our databases. Here are the leads that are assigned to you. Let's use this dashboard to go through and come up with your Q1, Q2 strategy. So we're rocking come springtime of 2026. That's the intention. Whereas before, it's like, let's come in and broadly say, I'm going to do more social media. I'm going to double down on direct mail. Well, okay, let's go a layer deeper. Who are you mailing to? Who are you spending your time and money on? And let's dig into the data to find it. And those are the
Steve,
conversations we're excited that are taking place. And the teams that are implementing it now are just going to be a few steps ahead. And so that's why we're doing it.
the next session that we do, can you show us the back end? Kind
Yeah.
of like you did the last webinar. But I
Yeah.
think at that point, the next one we do, you'll be way more advanced too, because AI changes like every second.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We're adding more insights into it every single day. We're starting to now add like missed opportunities to quantify, like, hey, this person listed their house, and you didn't list it. So let's start making our people feel a little bit of the pain as they continue along. so that we keep telling that story. But for those that are on the call or registered afterwards, we just encourage by the time we do our next one, we'll do the analysis, and that way you'll have the keys ready to go and you're off and running. And for us, we do a complimentary right now.
Perfect. And I get that if I run there to that QR code, even though the calendar link wasn't working. So let me
post this again. I will we'll fix it. But
yeah, they'll fix it, but he gets your info anyway when you submit, so he'll reach out. Don't worry about it.
perfect. Yeah. I'm going to grab that video that we did last time. Let me just make sure it's the right one. Yep, that was the one. And I'm going to put it below here just in case anybody wants to watch that one. There it is. It's on YouTube. This is recorded. It goes onto the YouTube channel. So if you did miss any part of it, you could just go watch it there right now. It's playing live. And then we have the other one that we played there. Dude, Steve, can you envision, to another idea here, can you envision ever a time soon where you can pull all of my social media followers and then enrich the data and then help me retarget them on other platforms so I can grow other platforms through that? Just think about that. Forget that it's illegal to do from Facebook, and just tell me if I can do it.
Yeah, as I've learned, the masterclass of like the efficacy and how you get this, that's what we take pride in. That's why I had to do a little like, yes, maybe, maybe. If the community is in an uproar, if we get 1 million views on the videos and there's uproar, Tristan, I will we'll go and sleuth through that.
Listen, dude, they're listening to us now and they're breaking the rules themselves. I'm gonna break some rules. I don't mind. Debbie, yeah,
the thing about AI is anything's possible, man.
Yeah,
anything's possible.
It is. And we're in the
but you know what though? That might be a Facebook thing too, because Facebook used to let you scrape your contacts. So you can't do that anymore. I don't know how.
We've gotten we get a lot now. Like, hey, because we have the cookie behavior of websites as they're searching. ChatGPT, right? Think about all the traffic that's going to ChatGPT and asking about real estate. That's one that I'm really keen on, is to understand how do we get our, how do we use it? That, and Nick, you mentioned like it's your best friend. Know that ChatGPT, you authorize that they can like reuse that data and pump it. So that's also, kind of part of the next equation.
Also, I hope it's not your actual best friend. I'm just saying.
It's too late, Nick. It's too late.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying you should get out more.
I can't. I'm stuck.
You should see my ChatGPT now is like, I am the least handy person ever, but it's been immensely powerful for me. Like, it's some real estate related stuff, leadership, all that fun stuff. But then every once in a while, it's like, how do I find the right light bulb for my bedroom? How do I?
Well, when is YouTube going to be?
Tell my kids to stop being little.
I mean, when is YouTube going to be integrated in there? Because then they could show you some videos on, throw some videos up on which light bulb to use.
Well, hold on. I don't know if you've watched your TikToks, but you go to TikTok, any video, and you guys can do it now if you guys have TikTok, and you pause the video. The video anywhere, right? Like I just paused that video, and I have a lot of journal videos, so whatever.
What does it tell you where to buy that stuff?
Click on that button. Hold on, that button, and it takes you to anything that looks like that. So all of a sudden, I can go shop for anything there. So I could literally just be watching a video, stop it, and said find similar.
Do you make money from that?
I don't know that the actual people do, but it makes it easier for me because how much stuff do you watch?
Yeah, but I'm wondering if like you will make money from someone buying a product they see in your video, because the revenue share on TikTok's really good, and in the TikTok shop, they're good about that. So I'm wondering if that's the case, because if it is, I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of product placement in my videos.
Not yet. Probably.
Influencer.
Not yet. But it does make it easier for us to be able to use it.
So Bonnie has a great comment. There's so much to learn, finding the time to learn, and what's most. Here's the great thing about it with Agent Legend, you don't really need to learn it. it does it all for you. You just have
Yeah.
to take the data and, do something with it. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
you just have to pick up the phone and call
Pretty
the hand
much.
raisers. That's pretty much it, or decide what to do with those hand raisers.
Yeah, if Bonnie, you're referring to like AI in general, like everything's AI. It's think about the core use of it, the application of it. What are we trying to get out of it? I mean, that's what I always think about versus I see 10 new AI driven tools. It's a matter of like, what are they solving? So that's
Yeah.
what I always have my blinders on to figure out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Go, please, if any of the links did not work, just
Yep.
simply go to Agent Legend, and then you can go there and ask for the free. What was it that you offered exactly, Steve? What's free?
Just the database analysis. So we'll plug in, we'll do all the segmentation
Perfect.
work, we'll show you who your main opportunities are, and you can pump that information right back into your CRM and peace out after your trial. So,
Perfect.
great. Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. This is great. We'll fix the link. We'll get it all sorted out. And if not, you guys can reach out to us directly through our website.
Yeah, just go the old-fashioned way to agentlegend.com.
Yep. Awesome. All
Thanks,
right.
See
guys.
ya.
Appreciate you.